Welcome to Survivors Talk with your host, April Jackson Hunter. Hey, beauties. Welcome to Survivor Talk with me, your host, April Jackson Hunter. If this is your first time coming into the house, I'm going to give you a little background history about myself. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. I am also the founder and the president of Mercedes Closet, Inc., which is a nonprofit geared to empowering survivors like myself, survivors of domestic violence, sexual violent crimes, and trans violence. I am also the author of Mercedes Closet, Keeping Deadly Secrets. Today on Survivors Talk, I came across a video that my wife shared. It's a previously aired video that aired last year, but the video moved me. And it's a young gentleman by the name of MJ Harris, and he was confronting his childhood rapist. So in a minute, I'm going to set the video up so you guys, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see the video. I'm going to let it play. I'm going to stop it periodically through the video just to discuss some key points that I need to point out with you guys. Fair warning that this video will trigger you. This is a trigger warning. If you need to stop the video at any time to walk away and get yourself together, please do so. This is a very, very, very powerful video. So if you give me a moment, I'm going to set it up and share my screen.
Hey family, so I was raped 20 years ago, and today right here on my channel, you're going to go with me back to my childhood home so that I can confront the person who did that to me. The reason why I'm doing this is because I really do believe in living limitlessly. I really do, and that means having no limits on what you can accomplish. That means having no limits on your mindset around how great you can be. That means also having no limits on the changes and the transformations you can have within your life. So for me to really practice what I preach about living limitlessly, I knew that I had to go to the person who caused the greatest pain I've ever experienced in my life. I had to go back home to confront the person who violated me and who damaged me in so many more ways than you could ever imagine. The reason why I'm doing this at my childhood home is because even though this really is an act of courage for me to confront this person, it's scary as hell for me. I don't know how he's going to react. I don't know how I'm going to react. And so for me, what I know that I'm going to need is the support of someone that I love and someone who's got my back. And that person really is my mother. So you're going to come along with me on my journey back home, and you're going to watch me as I confront this person. Because for me, my entire YouTube channel is all about helping you to live your best and most limitless life, really. And you know that I'm real about this. For me to take you on this experience with me where I'm doing something that is deeply personal, deeply intimate, and for some people just scary as hell, you know that I'm sincere about my dedication to help you live your best life. So if you know that you're ready to change your life, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell, because I've got plenty of other videos and lessons and journeys to take you on that will improve your life, change your mindset, and allow you to live the life you desire and deserve. I'm a lucky mother sucker and I love it. Every day and every night. And my haters kinda tight. They just hating on the spot.
I just love him, guys. I just love this video already.
Cause my life is kinda great. Cause I stay winning. I ain't taking no losses. I stay winning. And I only roll with bosses. I've already prepared them. I've told them. The people. Oh, they want you? No. Yes. I prepared the people. It's not live. Oh. It's not live. Earlier. Oh, he's one of your fans. Just because he's one of my fans? Mm-hmm. So, I don't owe him shit.
Language. Sorry.
It's not live.
Oh, okay.
I'm not calling him live. And he'd be a bold one to be one of my fans.
Well, you know, most perpetrators don't think they did anything wrong. So, he may very well be a fan.
I don't know how you believe that the sexually assaulting a 14-year-old.
I mean, you try to figure out the logic behind the perpetrator?
No, I don't understand it.
Okay.
My mother is a therapist by trade. Well, I've decided that because I said I was going to come here and I was going to call while I was with you. I was going to wait a couple days ago, but I was like, I don't want to hang over my head the whole trip. I just would rather get out the way. I don't know what I'm going to say at all. What do people normally say when they call their perpetrators?
Most people don't call them, they may write them a letter.
I'm not writing a letter.
I'm not telling you to, you just asked me.
No, I want to call. The reason why I'm doing this is because the thing is,
say hello, you may be like, you son of a bitch.
well, that's what comes up. The reason why I'm doing this is a part of me confronting my past as a way to, because I feel like one of the main barriers that keeps me from being able to have healthy relationships with men, like intimate relationships, is not really fully delving into confronting this part of my life. She just got in from yoga.
I forgot my sunflower seed.
So she didn't know that we were doing this today. She kind of just walked in and I pulled the camera out. When people confront their abuses, is there any benefit to that for them? Or can there be any benefit?
Yeah, because you're able to tell the person, we're going to acknowledge that what you did something to me and that it was wrong. And I just need you to be able to hear that, and this is how it's affected me.
So what are some of the benefits that happen for the person after the fact, after they say that?
So typically, if you've never confronted your abuser, it's still kept secret. And, you know, you're also validating to the person what you did was wrong.
So it's sort of a release for you.
It doesn't matter what they say. You get to finally get your truth.
I'm going to pause it right there, guys, because what she just said was very powerful. In confronting your abuser, your attacker, it's kind of like giving you a release. It doesn't really matter how they feel. So in that moment, when you find your voice and you get to the point where you want to confront or address what happened to you with the person that caused you so much pain in your life, it doesn't matter how they feel. Because even though you might not get the reaction that you are seeking, you might not get a positive reaction, it does not matter. You say your piece, you find your voice, and at that moment, that's your time. So however they take it, however they want to take it, it does not matter. That has no inkling on you whatsoever. That moment for you is for you. Don't let them take that power away from you. I'm going to play the video again.
Finally get your truth told.
I'm nervous about it.
I know.
So my mother wanted me to confront it years earlier. That didn't tell her until years after it happened. So she was not aware when it happened. And so I told her years after the fact, and she wanted me to confront it earlier and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I, like many people who are abused, just didn't want to do that at the time. I felt like it was, I knew that what happened to me was wrong, but I felt like it would let's just let it go away. I just want to move on with my life. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to move on with my life. And you can't force someone to confront it at all. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can really do outside just encouraging them. So I just wasn't ready. So here we are, almost 20 years after the actual assault happened. And now I'm finally ready. What effects have you seen that my abuse has had in my life from you outside looking in?
You don't trust nobody. That pretty much covers it, because everything else floats from out of that.
Really?
And you need to be in control of everything. Like, I work for you, you'll tell me to do something, you go ahead and do it yourself. And I really don't like that. Because if you go ahead
I'm sorry, I'll call that again. She is really speaking to my soul, you guys. That speaks to who I am as a person. What she just said, to need to be in control of everything and need to, like, I do that a lot, you know, especially with my family and with people around me, like that to tell them to do stuff and I just do it myself. I do that a lot. I really did not know that this was residual stuff that was coming from my trauma in my life. And so just listening to this part in this video had really spoke. It really spoke to me because I didn't know that I was doing this out of what happened to me, or a security blanket, or a need to feel like I need to control my environment so much. Okay, again, I'm going to start the video again.
I'll go ahead and do it. Go ahead. I didn't know this. Go ahead.
Then, you know, send me a message and say I already did it. And then I go back in to do
That's
it.
true.
And it's done.
That's true. It's not that I don't trust you. I think I just am so used to jumping out there. Let me just go ahead and do it.
It's a control issue.
I agree. I agree. Well, therein lies another thing that can benefit from me dealing with this shit because it's affected everything. You've seen my relationships with men. No, well, let's go there. How is my unresolved trauma and abuse affected, or my relationship with men, or affect how I pick men,
You
whatever?
are so, what do you call it? It's like you be looking for something wrong. First of all, you pick people who got stuff wrong, and then you can then validate, see, I knew there was something wrong with him, but you already picked people who, you know, so you can validate your belief that men
Hate shit.
Right, and so you pick them, and then be looking for stuff to make your prophecy true. You can look for anything long enough, you're gonna find it.
Amen.
I think what that is for me is I'm so petrified of being hurt again
You're
that
sabotaging.
yes, I sabotage. This is why I want to confront this. I feel like I want to confront this. It is just the first step in confronting it. I want to confront him. If I can reach him, if I can't reach him, then fine. I'll, go to my next step. And I just want to go deeper. I'm taking everyone on the process with me of going deeper. So I feel like if the healer can get more healing, then I can heal more people.
Amen, Jesus.
I'm doing this, y'all. I'm going there. My mom is going to sit by me as I make the call.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it again. I'm just want to give you guys another trigger warning. If you need to stop this video at any time to walk away and regroup and regain yourself, please do so, because this point gets very, very, very emotional. And you can see at exactly what point that he starts feeling anxiety in the video, because his whole demeanor, his whole persona changes. That part for me was a little triggering for me, because I can tell exactly how he was feeling. And I know when I go through my anxiety, and when I started doing what he's doing in the video, the different mannerisms, the rubbing of the hand, I'm just about almost in full panic attack mode. So it pretty much was very, very, that point was a little gripping for me to witness. I can pretty much just in my body and my stomach was knotting up, because I could really just feel the anxiety that he was displaying in the video. So again, if you guys need to stop it at any moment, to stand up, walk around, get yourself together, clear your thoughts, then please do so, just for your own mental health and for mine. Okay.
Deal. To respect his privacy, I'm not going to have him on speakerphone or anything like that.
How are we gonna hear what he said?
I can't let them hear it, because then if they...
Am I gonna hear it?
You'll be beside me, so you'll hear it through the phone. But they can't hear, so just listen close. They can't hear because of the fact that I didn't protect his privacy. Just call?
Yeah.
I'm really scared. Oh, okay, I'm gonna call.
Okay.
I just called her. Hey.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, it's very familiar. Hello.
Hello, is available? This is Malcolm Charles' son. You've heard good things. Well, that's wonderful. I was actually calling to talk with you for a moment. Can I just have about 5 minutes of your time? Okay. I've been doing all right. How are you doing? I was calling you about a about what happened 20 years ago. I was calling you, do you know what I'm referring to? I'm calling you in reference to sex. I was 14 and you were much older than me when that happened, and it's had a really negative effect on my life since then. Were you aware when that happened that that was something that was not appropriate to do? That was wrong? I understand that you're at a loss for words. Trust me, I don't know what to say either, so I understand that. Well, you're right, I am a strong individual today, but that's as the result of a lot of therapy and a lot of hard work. But the reality is that I'm still a very damaged individual today because of that. Me being well off financially and visibly
I'm gonna
successful
stop it. You
doesn't take
guys
away
can tell
from
in his
the
mother's face by her
very
facial expressions that this camera is really keeping her in order because she wants to go to the left, and that's a real black mom, y'all. I'm just saying it.
Easily successful doesn't take away from the very deep pain that causes. Even today, I have trouble with trusting people. I don't trust men at all in any way, shape, or form. I'm not able to have healthy relationships with men. I mean, when a child is exposed to sex so young, it really does fuck them up for a very long time. I'm here. I'm just asking this for yourself. When you were a child, did anything ever happen to you sexually from an adult? It did. You said several instances? Mm-hmm. What was the age? What was that early age? You said it started at a very early age. What was that? At 6. Who did you tell? I understand. How? A gun was put to your head. I understand. Well, affect you for a very long time, because they've affected me for a very long time, which is why I'm calling about this now. This, I'll tell you for myself why I'm doing this, and it's, it's 2 decades later at this point in time. The reason why I'm doing this, reaching out to you, is because I know that in order for me to go into my healing process and move on with my life, I have got to be able to confront you and tell you how I was affected in order to do that. And I've done that. I've conveyed that to you. Based on what you're telling me about what happened to you, I would encourage you to do something for yourself rather than going into therapy or doing something for yourself. Because while you're much older than what I am, you still have breath in your body and you've got a life to live. And I can imagine the damage of being sexually assaulted at 6 and throughout your young adult life, in your childhood, that still does affect you. And in fact, it affected you to the point where you did the very same type of damage to me that happened to you. And, I'm not showing up at your door violently. I'm not doing all these other things that other people could do. But my point is that we all deserve to have healing. This is me getting my healing. And I think you need to go down the path of whatever your healing looks like so that you can A, heal for yourself, and B, so that you're not going to, so you don't hurt anyone else. I can understand how you were in denial. You felt like it happened, I just have to move forward, and I'll just push through. And I did that for 20 years. Just ignored it, and so I'm just going to push forward no matter what. Same thing you probably had to do, but the problem is that for you pushing forward and ignoring it, what happened to you, it resulted in you perpetrating the same thing against me. And for me, while I've never done anything like that to a child, it has resulted in my life in other ways that were damaging to me. So my point is that if you don't deal with your trauma, you're going to damage yourself or damage others in some way, shape, or form, you know? And so I would hope that me giving you a call today, for me, is to help bring closure to this for me, but hopefully this opens the door for you to do what you need to do for yourself to go down that path of healing for yourself, whatever that means for you to confront your past. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. On this part, we muted it because I put him on speaker because I want to protect his privacy. But what he was saying in this moment that I wanted my mother to hear was things that just didn't make sense. It sounded almost like he was trying to justify what he had done. And my mother clearly didn't make sense to me or her. So I just kept listening, and then it hit me. Maybe my mother should have an opportunity to talk to him. So I asked her, did she want to talk to him? I thought this would be a great way for her to be able to get her voice heard. I understand completely.
I'm gonna pause it again. You guys can see once his mom gets the phone, his whole demeanor changes. So this is the point for me that had got kind of rough. When I watched it the first time, I started getting triggered by his mannerisms and his whole anxiety with the situation. So like I said, you guys, if you need to stop the video at any moment, walk away and get yourself together, please do so.
If you give me 1 second, just a part of this for me is also, my mother who's been beside me this whole time. She just wanted to say hello to you as well. 1 second.
Hello? Yeah, hi. I did not know about what happened until sometime after it happened. No one told me. And I was furious, absolutely furious. They would not give me information because my plan was to have you arrested because you harmed my child. And so what I need to say to you is I'm a therapist. I work with sexual assault victims. I work with military trauma. This is what I've been doing for 25 plus years. And my belief is, except for in some cases, people who sexually assault children have been assaulted themselves. And as I listened to at least Malcolm's part of him talking to you, clearly that has happened to you. I just need you to know that maybe it's the grace of God or whatever, but I put my son through lots of therapy. He still struggles in his relationships. He still struggles with some other things. And I'm sure you do too. Because my clients, people figure out ways to survive, but I really, and you may or may not choose to do this, but I would invite you to do yourself a favor. Contact a therapist, not your priest, not your pastor, but contact someone who has experience working in this so that you can begin the process of allowing the 6-year-old kid who was assaulted to be able to get closure for himself. Because the adult has figured out how to cover it up and how to move on, but that 6-year-old didn't have a voice, and my 14-year-old son didn't have a voice. So I'm going to give the phone back to him. I just want to be able to say to you, do that. Give yourself that. Give yourself that gift. Well, like I said, I'm gonna give. Oh well. So I was going to say, we've kind of come to the end of the conversation. I really, like I said, I never tell people what to do. I invite people. I invite you to give yourself the gift of being able to get healing for for what happened to you. And since I could not hear the side of the conversation when you were talking to my son, did you apologize to my son for what you did to him? Okay, hold on. You don't have to say anything, just...
Hello? I appreciate your apology. Thank you so much for talking with me. I have to run now, but thank you so much for talking with me. All right, thank you. Have a good evening. No problem. I'm glad this helped you. All right, have a good evening.
How you doing?
For me, it was scary at first, but the unexpected, while still expected twist, I thought he would have hung up on me. Me too. Or something. I think one of the things that came out of it was me being able to say what I needed to say, to acknowledge to him. He took responsibility immediately. He did. What he said early on in the conversation was, he's like, basically, yeah, I know what happened. Yes, that did happen. He acknowledged everything that was, he said he was wrong, and he went on to talk about how, he had been sexually assaulted for the first time at 6. He said it had happened many times thereafter. And I wasn't surprised by that, but I asked him, not everyone who's been sexually assaulted becomes a sexual perpetrator, but for some people that is the case. And so I just wanted to understand, where does this even come from, Yeah,
particularly because he was sexually assaulted at age 6, when he had no cognitive knowledge of what sex is and what was happening to him. And so if your first introduction to sex is before you're cognitively prepared for it, that shapes your focus of that this seems to be of what you can expect and what should happen.
What's your norm?
Even if it's not necessarily pleasant. People's behavior comes from somewhere. I think the important part is that you were able to speak your truth. You'd be able to tell him how what he did affected you. And we were able to offer, he was able to apologize, and we were able to share some of his story. We were able to maybe plant some seeds for him to get some healing for himself.
It's hard for me, you're a therapist, so being in where you work in a field where you're helping people, and I help people every day, it's hard, even with someone who's hurt me, to not hear the human part of them. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was on the phone with you deserve. He wasn't saying anything vicious or mean. I think I would have had a different response, but he was very apologetic, and you could hear at one point I heard the man start to get teary-eyed on the phone, I could hear him getting emotional. And to me, I thought to myself, this is someone who's hurting, who's hurt other people, and yes, I'm a victim of that, and he was wrong. But I said, if nothing else, when I walk away from this call, at the very least, hopefully this call will be something that can help him to get healing. And he said at the end of the call, when I was getting off, he said, thank you so much for this. He said, because this call has helped me too. So what that means in real life or in sincerity, I have no idea. I'm not going to be following up with him to find out. But for me, this was important for me because I was petrified of ever having a conversation with him. Not that I ever thought he would hurt me in any way, shape, or form. Just that confronting of it. And he said, I'm so sorry, that should have never happened. He took full responsibility. And for me, even as the adult today, that feels really good to hear, because I think that as a child, you question, is it my fault? Was this my fault? And so to hear very clearly, this was not your fault. I was wrong. I was the adult. As he said, I was an adult. I did not have control over myself. I was wrong.
So let me just say to persons who may be viewing this, if you have been a victim of childhood sexual assault, you probably need to do your own work before you replicate this, confronting your perpetrator, because you need to be in a space where this is about you telling your truth, because your perpetrator may not take ownership. Mm-hmm. Your perpetrator may make it seem as if you made it up, or that you were
like it never happened.
Like it never happened, or you were a consenting partner. And I think that one of the things that this man was saying was that he was trying to work it through on his own. This is not work that you do on your own. So if you've been a victim, I invite you to find yourself a good therapist, begin to do some work, and when you've come to a place where you feel that you are ready, then you can confront your perpetrator. Malcolm did it very bravely on a phone call. A lot of people do it by letter, or something like that. But just know that this is a part of a process. This didn't just happen overnight. It's something that Malcolm's been working on for quite some time.
I've been in therapy for about 5 months leading up to this.
Yeah, so, you know, and for those who, again, who this may have happened to, just know it's not your fault. It was not your fault. It wasn't because you had on what you had on. It wasn't because you was fast. It wasn't because of anything. It was because that person made the decision to violate you. And so just know that we're very sorry that happened to you. Get yourself a good therapist. Begin to do your work so that you can have healing also. And I'm going to step off the couch.
Okay. I'm going to include a link below this video.
I'm going to stop it there, you guys, because he's just going to end his video. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen and come back and talk to you about the video. Okay, you guys, I want to start off by saying I absolutely commend MJ Harris for that monumental step. Me personally, I don't think I could have had a phone conversation with the person, because I don't think that I could have dealt with that. Me personally, I feel like just hearing the voice of the person would have been too traumatic for me. So just for him to exude so much power in that moment was very empowering for me. And I hope that it was empowering for you guys. I would love to hear your reactions to the video, or your reactions to anything that was said during the video. You can just put it in the comment section, or you can just send it to me by email. I'll give you all the information later. And it just, to me, I don't personally, I don't think I've reached a area in my healing journey where I need to confront anybody from my past that has caused me traumatic experiences. I just feel like my healing journey, I've forgiven them. Don't get me wrong, I have forgiven them, and I just don't feel the need to even know why you did it to me. Frankly, I don't even care. I just want to keep going forward. I've done my part. I've forgiven them that I have done. And I just don't, I don't really care to know why. I don't really want any answers. I don't really want to hear, oh, I'm sorry. That's because I feel like, for me personally, that if I have to seek it from you, it's not original. If you wanted to apologize for your actions, to what you've done to me, you know how to pick up the phone or get in contact with me, because I'm all across social media. I'm all over everywhere. Anybody can find me. So if I have to come and look for it from you, I just don't feel like I don't want it. It's not original. That's not to say that that's anybody else's personal journey. That's just my personal journey. And of course, I'm not a victim of childhood sexual assault. So I can't begin to open my mouth to fathom what he is experiencing or his personal journey. That's for him. But for on my plate, I don't want to deal with it. To be honest with you, I have set my peace. I have made peace with what these people in my past have done to me. I've forgiven them, and I have moving forward. Right now and today in my journey, I don't feel the need to confront them. Not to say that you can't do that, but when you do, like his mother stated, when you feel like you want to go forward with that process, please make sure you put in the groundwork Put in the groundwork that you need beforehand, because that's a very monumental step, and you don't want to risk doing it prematurely and setting yourself back. So take the time to make sure you're at a place in your healing journey to do that. And don't do it alone. Don't face them alone, because you don't want to be re-victimized. And again, you guys, thank you for just allowing me to share this video with you. If at any point you have a video that you want me to see or want to be shared on Survivors Talk, you can email me. If you yourself personally are a survivor or a victim and you want to come on Survivors Talk and share your story, you can email me. You can email me at mercedescloset@yahoo.com. Attention, Survivors Talk, and I will get back with you guys. Or you can put in the comment section, you can add links to the comment section, or any comments about this video or anything else that you saw that you have viewed on Survivors Talk in the comment section. As always, you guys can find me all across social media at April Jackson Hunter or Mercedes Closet Inc. on Facebook and Instagram. You can find me on Twitter at Mercedes Closet, and you can find me, my story, my books, and my website at www.mercedescloset.com. You guys have been so great. I know this video was long. I normally don't keep my videos this long, but I think this video was so powerful that I want to share it in its entirety, because you wouldn't have grasped the monumental empowerment of the video if you had not saw it in its entirety. So thank you guys for coming inside the house and being with me on this other episode of Survivors Talk. Please subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already, and click the little bell for notifications to make sure that you can see every time Survivors Talk comes on YouTube. It has been wonderful, you guys. Please, I'll see you next time on Survivors Talk. Be blessed.